Well, good morning and welcome to 755 Live, about 5 minutes of what Jesus said. These commands come from our weekday Bible plan at bible.today.church. You'll find some helpful resources there to just encourage and help us to read the Bible together. And these 755 Live segments take a soundbite version of a command or example or teaching of Jesus, and then we just talk about it for 5 minutes. If this is meaningful to you, if you enjoy this, if it helps you be a better disciple, it would really be helpful and encouraging to me if you would like this, if you share it on social media. I appreciate all of you who comment and check in. It just makes a real difference, so I appreciate that. Today's Jesus said, it's pretty simple but hard to put into practice, is don't judge. And this comes from Matthew 7, 1 through 5. Jesus said, do not judge, pretty clear, so that you will not be judged. For by the standard you judge, you will be judged. And the measure you use will be the measure you receive. Why do you see the speck in your own or in your brother's eye, but fail to see the beam of wood in your own? Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye while there is a beam in your own? You hypocrite, first remove the beam from your own eye, and then you can see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Jesus said, don't judge. Now, society's version of that says, I can do anything that I want and no one should ever be able to put me down. That's not what Jesus was talking about. Jesus was not saying that we shouldn't have a righteous standard. Jesus wasn't saying that God's way and his purpose are not to be followed. But this is about our position and our attitude towards others. It's about comparison. In Luke 18, Jesus told the story of a Pharisee who was standing, out in public, and he was praying, and he said, "Thank God that I'm not like all these sinners. I don't do the things that they do." And then there was this sinner who wouldn't even get very close, and he kind of beat on his chest, and he said, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." The comparison that the Pharisee made is what judgment is. Paul talks about this in Romans 14:4. He says, who are you to pass judgment on another's servant? Before his own master he stands or falls. And he will stand, for the Lord is able to make him stand. Who are we to pass judgment on others? Who are we to sit in the seat of judgment? That is not our job. And in fact, when we're locked in this mode of comparison, we are actually having an identity crisis. Because as a Jesus follower, we need to understand and live the truth that Jesus has provided everything that we need, and that it's not based on our own merit, it's not based on our own righteousness, but through the righteousness of Christ, we have right standing with God. And it's from that place of identity, knowing who we are in Christ, where we don't have to evaluate and put down others. We are not called to be the world's referee, and we're not called to be the referee of each other. I mean, can you imagine a football team having nothing but referees? That wouldn't work. You can't play the game and be the referee at the same time. And we're not playing a game, but we are obeying the commands of Jesus, which are love God, love people, go make disciples. Don't judge. The comparison is a trap that keeps our pride alive. The comparison is a trap that keeps us from our true identity in Christ. Because when we understand who we are in Christ and that it's not about anything that we do, we don't have to put down someone else. We don't have to compare our righteousness to someone else, because we have uncomparable righteousness through Christ that we can take no credit for. We're not the referee. We're not the judge. That's God's job. Our identity is to accept and receive the righteousness that Christ gives us freely. Don't judge. Don't compare. Our prayer shouldn't be, thank God I'm not like all of these bad people. Our prayer is, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. We're not the referee. That's God's job. Jesus said, don't judge. How can we put that into